My people, welcome back to the channel. Welcome to Patala FC. We are within. No need for waffle today. Daring life today. Second time I'm doing this. Let's hope your boy gets more right than last time. I think I got like 4 right in terms of placement across the table. Let's do better. We're getting XP now.
Here we go.
We have the empty table here of sorts. 3 red slots, relegated teams. 4 green slots. Should I have made it 5 green slots? Because England might get that 5th spot for Champions League again. But let's break it down, guys. We jump straight in. 20th, Sunderland. Um, I just don't see them staying up. I see them rock bottom. They've lost Joe Bellingham. They've gained Mark Gill on loan. Not sure if they've done any more aggressive business, but I don't see them sticking around. I really don't. I love Sunderland. I think they're a nice team. Every time we face them on game week 38, Chelsea win the league. So which we face them game week 38, we could be the final stamp in their relegation, or they could be relegated already at that point. We'll see. We'll see. In 19th, I'm putting Brentford, guys. Um, I said my 3 relegated teams in the previous video, Premier League predictions video. So the 3 that I'm mentioning now, you guys won't be surprised. It's just the placement that I've put them in. But Brentford have lost a lot. They've hired a manager who was sort of Thomas Frank's understudy of sorts. I don't know if he has enough experience as a manager, and to give him a Premier League job is a huge task. But if he surprises us, he surprises us. And I've butchered it. But in terms of what they've lost, I think they're going to struggle, and I see them in the relegation zone in 19th. 18th, Wolves. This is possibly me underestimating Victor Pereira, but guys, I don't see them lighting up anything. I don't see Wolves challenging anyone, if I can put it that way. I see Wolves as a team where everyone looks at them and says, you know what, we can beat those guys. So Wolves are gonna have it rough this coming season. 17th, I got Burnley. That's Scott Parker's boys. They had a great championship season. They've lost James Trafford. They've gained 2 Chelsea players, including now Bashir Humphreys. They have Broya and they have Ugo Chuku. Could be good acquisitions. We'll see how they gel in Scott Parker's system, but I see them struggling and I see them just surviving. Leeds in 16th. So those are the teams that have been promoted. I see them both fighting to stay above the relegation zone, and I see them both surviving the relegation zone. 15th, I'm placing Everton. They could be higher. They could be much higher. David Moyes is arguably the most experienced manager alongside Pep, yes. Um, in terms of experience in the Premier League, Moyes is elite. But what I saw from Everton in preseason, struggling to create chances. If DCL sticks around, might get injured again. Beto, your mainstay striker, I don't know what's gonna work there. You get me? I thought Ndiaye is Ndiaye. I thought he was more lethal, but he's here and there sort of player. We move, guys. 14th, Nottingham Forest. I know this is a major drop, but I see Nuno having a difficult season. Not that they've lost anyone. They lost Ilanga. Ilanga was very important for them on the counter attack, and that's how they love to play. They take in pressure, they hold you, they frustrate you, but I don't see them going back to back with great seasons. So I see them there. They're about 14th, 13th, somewhere there. Fulham in 13th for me. Marco Silva's a brilliant manager. I'll always respect Marco Silva, but I think he might run out of a bit of steam, and I don't see Fulham in the top 10 of the Premier League. So I see them there about. That's where Fulham usually are 11th, 12th, 13th. So I see them keeping consistency in terms of them, but I don't see them improving really. Bournemouth in 12th. I think that's lower than they were this season. I think Bournemouth were in 10th, but they've lost almost their whole defensive line. People are claiming they've reinforced, but those players will need to be integrated and actually adapt to the league. I don't doubt Iraola as a manager. I think he would do wonders. So 12 might be a compliment. No disrespect, but I don't see Bournemouth improving from last season, if I can put it that way. In 11th, I'm putting Palace, Oliver Glasner's boys, trophy winning boys. Great team, Palace are. Very solid, very well set up, but very much an 11th placed sort of team. If they lose Eze and Mark Guehi, because it looks like Liverpool want Mark Guehi now. If they lose Guehi, they could even drop lower than this. but I believe Glasner's prowess as a manager keeps them there about. Yeah, so yeah, guys, I think 11th is fair. 10th, we got Brighton. Others might have Brighton higher than this, but I think there's a world where they lose Baleba. And I'm not saying them losing Baleba is why they're 10th, like they could have been higher with Baleba. I think I would have put them in 10th regardless. I think Herzela had a great first season, but I think he'll have a tougher second season for some reason. That's how I feel. Um, and we'll see how it goes. They've lost Estupinan, but Estupinan wasn't really a mainstay in the team, if I'm being honest. So we'll see about Brighton, but I'm placing them mid-table there, literally in the middle. I see Graham Potter improving, and I see him in ninth. West Ham in ninth. Might be too high. If anything, we could find West Ham in the bottom five, but I think Graham Potter, what I saw in preseason, and I saw glimpses of sorts, I think he has a solid plan. I think he's going to do okay. And for me to place them above Brighton is the greatest compliment I can give them right now because West Ham have really been quite bad over the last few seasons. So West Ham in ninth is purely based on what I think Graham Potter can build going into this new season. We move, guys. Tottenham Hotspur in eighth. Yeah, Thomas Frank. I think Big Ange finished in 16th or 14th, somewhere there. So that's a major improvement in terms of Spurs' league position. And I do see them exiting the Champions League rather early, so they focus on the Premier League, start bagging results. And I see Thomas Frank having a good second half of the season. He might have a difficult first half, but I think he'll actually adapt more and more as the season goes by. Spurs might do a bit of business in January. I think they actually will do some business. And yeah, they could get Savinho. Maybe Savinho helps to a slight degree. If they get Eze, eighth is definitely viable. We move, guys, into seventh, Aston Villa. And this is Unai Emery. I am Unai. Need I say more? They'll have Europa League to focus on, but I believe Emery can balance both. They'll win Europa League, in my opinion. That's my prediction. But they'll also do well in the Premier League. I think they finished sixth last season, so they have dropped one in my prediction. But it's still a good position for Villa, if anything. So we move, guys, into sixth, and I'm placing Newcastle. And I'll say it. Even if they lose Isak, I still see Newcastle finishing sixth. That's how good Eddie Howe is. Because losing Isak is big, yes. But let's consider how Newcastle created chances for Isak. If you're a good striker, you can finish the chances Isak finished. It's not like Isak created chances for himself, like Mateus Cunha, for example. Isak just needs to be replaced by someone good enough. And I think Newcastle go from strength to strength. You know, they have Champions League as well, so that's a difficult thing. But I don't see them staying in the Champions League long either, same as Spurs. So I think Eddie Howe will do well in the Premier League and get into top six. In fifth, I have Manchester United. I bet a lot of y'all were wondering, this guy's been going higher and higher, and United are not arriving. These guys don't have European football. And I see Ruben Amorim's team getting better and better. You know, you always have at least 5, 6 days to train for your next game, 4 days at minimum. So you'd believe Amorim's system will be well engraved in every Man United player's brain, and they'll get better as the season goes on, and they'll be stronger. They'll be a threat to any team. You know, United is United. I mean, Amorim beat Pep last season. Not that it was Pep's best season, but he beat him. You know, he challenged the likes of Mikel Arteta. Phase six Arteta. You know, even we struggled against them, but at least we beat them in the second game. That was still a struggle. I believe it was just 1-0. You know, very tough game. So even at their worst, Man United are a problem. So them getting better, big problem. Top four. I'm putting the Manchester club side by side. I see Pep Guardiola finishing in fourth. I did say in my predictions he'll be manager of the season. That's still possible, even as a fourth placed team, I believe. But I see Pep doing similar to what he did last season. Um, he was in third last season because of a great run towards the end of the season. I think it'll be a tougher season now. Reinders has to be integrated. You know, as much as Ryan Jerky is brilliant individually, I think he needs time. And I don't see Haaland bagging as many goals as we might be predicting. So, yeah, we'll see. But I'm placing City in fourth. In third, now you're seeing Arsenal in third. So you're looking at this Chelsea fan like, you Chelsea fan. Or you might be seeing much more rude words in your brain. Arsenal in third. I'm not being a hater. I just feel like the top two teams, my club inclusive, are just gonna be more hungry across the season and a bit more capable than Arsenal in terms of tallying points. Um, of course, all teams from here on are in the Champions League, but I see Chelsea and Liverpool to be above Arsenal. I really do. Um, don't drop a dislike if you think I'm an Arsenal hater. Drop a like. You get me. So if Liverpool in second, where am I placing Chelsea? Might as well end it there. I said it in my Premier League predictions, guys, and I have to stick to me guns. I have to. How do we tally more points than Liverpool? We have to beat Liverpool home and away. Can we do it? I think we can. We have to beat the top six more often than not. We need a much better record should we actually get this done. Liverpool are amazing. If they get Isak, I might have to switch it up and say Chelsea second, Liverpool first. But without Isak, how I saw Liverpool conceding goals in preseason, that's why they're going for defenders, I believe. That's why they're bringing in Leone and potentially Guehi because they are conceding goals. As much as they can score, they can concede. So Chelsea's defense, maybe even in the absence of Colwill, there's some paranoia, but I still see us as a solid team defensively. And we can just solidify the midfield to be a bit more defensive minded and we'll be fine. So Chelsea to win the Premier League for me. Yeah, guys, shout out for tuning in, y'all. And we'll see. Let's see how embarrassing this will be come the end of this coming season. I've enjoyed this. You get me? Shout out again. Blessings, y'all.